she'd be like, all right, let's take $20 out of the groceries and you go get that box so you can do a video and upload it. Like, never even questioned it, always believed in me. And
was that crazy? Yes. Very.
Yeah. That's
But,
idiotic.
it's what he loved. I know, it was so stupid, but it's what he loved to do. And I was like, that's what you want to do? Do it.
all right.
That's amazing that you have that. Is that a soundboard?
Yeah. So this is the soundboard for the podcast that we do with Jordan French and Super Duper Danny.
Yeah.
Got an entire soundboard right here. So if there's ever anything that you might possibly need throughout this podcast, you just let me know, and then I'll drop it for you. Right? We got everything from iCarly to Steve-O.
Yeah, dude.
I need to get one of those. That's a great idea.
Honestly, it's a pain. I'm not gonna lie, it's an absolute pain. It took me like 2 or 3 months to like truly get it to where everybody else could hear, I could hear, Danny and Jordan could hear, and then gathering the sounds. And then remembering where all of them are. I have like 100 plus sounds here.
Jeez. Yeah. So then you're just thinking about it the entire conversation, not knowing what's going on. You're just looking for the right button press.
Right button, or you try to lead them into a certain conversation so you can drop a certain sound.
Whenever you get a new one, that's the entire goal of the podcast.
No, it
find
really
a segue
is.
into
It really
that
is.
button.
I'm not gonna lie. I get so jacked when I get a new sound on here. And then sometimes I clip sounds from our own podcast and then make them part of the soundboard as well. So
can you do that in real time too?
I can't do it in real time.
That would be funny if you could, though.
I feel like I would have to have somebody else like on deck.
All right, that's Marie's
like a
new
producer,
job
like cutting it up or something, like as we're going. This is a great way to start the podcast. Is this actually how we're starting it off?
Sure, why not? Welcome back to the PokeRadar Podcast. This is episode 25.
We're on the special Pikachu episodes.
That's right. The special. Wait, yeah. Last one was the Kobe Bryant podcast with Jarvis Johnson, and now this is the special Pikachu podcast. Perfect timing.
It is.
Wow.
What better one to be on? This one and 54 Psyduck I would want to be on. So.
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, I'll plan that out and make sure to have you back on for that one.
I'd appreciate it.
And it'll require every sentence has to have the word Psyduck in it, or duck.
It's in my we got Ducklet. I'm not a big fan of that. So, but it is in my contract. It's Psyduck.
Okay.
Every other sentence. Every sentence. Well, I'm glad that you invited me on here. I appreciate it. I've done one of your podcasts before when you were just a little radar.
A little radar. I was just a little blip. Just a little blip.
Just a little blip on the radar, and now you've grown into a radar empire.
I'm on the way. I have a logo on a sweatshirt now.
Look at that.
I'm taking over the world.
Next
taking over
thing
the
you know,
podcast
you're gonna have
world.
maybe a sticker or a coffee mug.
I've had those. I need to bring those back though.
I will take a coffee mug.
Okay, I'll have
to.
One sold right there.
I've got some old coffee mugs from the original podcast, the Cards Collectors with Cards Drinking Coffee. That was the one you were on, Nate. So you're back. This is the second time. But who's this person next to you? I haven't had.
Haven't
had her on yet.
I thought you were talking about my Psyduck in the background.
Great introduction.
Marie has always technically been part of the channel.
Yes.
Even when I started the channel, February of 2014. Also, this is a good time for me to be on because I'm about to go into my 10-year anniversary for being on YouTube in February. So thank you. And Marie has always been part of the channel. When I started off, she was behind the scenes. She was filming. She never said anything.
No, I didn't want to.
I never talked to her on camera. But then eventually, I think 2017-ish, early 2018, we were just like, why don't you just like come be on the channel?
Yeah.
And then it slowly kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah.
And started getting on the channel a little bit more. And then now we're to the point to where Marie is on the channel almost every single video that I do. There's like
lots of thumbnails.
Right. There's like maybe one or two, one to three videos a month that maybe she's not on.
Yeah.
But she's just as much a part of the channel as I am, and I couldn't have done or gone as far as I have without her. So, even though it says Real Breaking Nate on it,
she is the better half. Real Breaking Marie.
That is very true.
Are you making your own content too? You have a channel, right?
I do have a channel. I have basically Marie. I just do a lot of journaling, so it's something that I'm kind of like dabbling in.
Yeah,
because it's something I really enjoy doing. So like how to journal, where do you start, types of journals,
scrapbooking,
like
too. You've done scrapbooking videos.
That's actually, it's a habit that I've never picked up fully, but have done throughout my life. But there's this one YouTuber, she's pretty new, like the life of, what's her name? Shoot, I forget her name. The life of, I wouldn't know that. Rizza, the life, something like that. The life of Rizza. She's
I'll have to check it out.
I'll find it and send it to you afterwards. But she's fairly new, like a year into this, and she's blown up. And her style of content is very journalist. It's very like, it's like
it's a lot of like cameras on the table. You're seeing us right.
A lot of cinematography. Like it's very well done. Cool. That could be a good inspiration, I guess.
I'll definitely check that out because I'm definitely looking for new ways to kind of expand from where I'm at. So I think I just hit the first of the 2 milestones for YouTube. So I hit the 3,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that opened up like super thanks, things like that. And then so I'm still off from being
on that 4,000.
I'm off on that 4,000.
You're getting okay. You're good.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah. But it's been fun because those early years she saw like all the things that I was dealing with when it came to like making your own schedule and being consistent and editing your own videos and all that stuff. And now she's doing it, and I'm seeing her in those early stages, and I'm like, you see what I mean, right?
10 years later.
Like now I'm just like, I see why you don't like editing. Like this is not fun.
Right. It's definitely not fun. I think there's people that love to be on camera, and then there's people that love to edit, and there's people that love doing both, right?
I'm not one of those people.
I'm definitely not someone that likes to edit whatsoever.
Same. I just want to show up and leave.
Give me the script.
Else do it all.
Let me go.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, early days of YouTube, you could just kind of like hit record and do it all in one take, back in 2015, 2016. You definitely can't do that now, but
it's a little bit more competitive, just a tad.
Things change over time, just like anything else, right? Anything else in this world changes over time, and so does YouTube. I think the thing with YouTube is that it's still such a new avenue, right? It's such a new career path that not everybody knows how things evolve and how they're going to work in 10, 20, 30 years, right? So
well, it's new in the sense now of it being like a true serious career path. Like before it was a career path for people, but now it's finally, and it's still not even completely widely acceptable, but it's pretty widely acceptable of being a legitimate career path, with whether you're the content creator yourself or being an editor, being a publisher or a producer, being whatever creative mind behind it. So
absolutely. I mean,
I think a lot of people are seeing it more than just a hobby. Like, oh, that's cute. You do YouTube. How adorable.
I mean, comparing 2023 to 2019, which is really not even that long ago. If people ask me like, what do you do? The reactions are completely different 2019 compared to 2023. 2019, it was just like, oh, that's cute. You play around on the internet. And now it's like, oh, that's neat. How can I do it? Like now they want to know, and they want tips on how to start a channel of their own, which I think is awesome. I think everybody, whether people want to believe it or not, I think everybody has something unique to offer, and it's just finding what that unique thing is within yourself to offer that. I mean,
and you doubled down with oh, that's cute with being Pokemon and YouTube. I dealt with the Pokemon responses when I was like, oh yeah, I sell Pokemon cards for a living. Now it's finally changed, right? Where people,
people are like, now it's wow. It's like, oh, hey, I got some cards in my basement. Can you take a look at them?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I feel like we still get that.
Yeah.
All the time. My coworker just brought her binder in for me to look at. It was a great childhood binder, actually. Stickers on the front. It was thick as could be.
Oh, wow.
Really, she had base through Neo. Not everything together, but had a pretty complete collection of like one of each Pokemon, and it's a sealed ancient Mew. It was great.
That stuff is so fascinating to see somebody's childhood binder, right? The stickers on the front of it, how they organized it, how they took care of it back then. It's just really neat to see how somebody viewed Pokemon and kind of see it through their eyes. It's literally, I always view an old binder as like a time capsule. Oh, yeah. Almost, it like literally is like a time capsule. So I always just find that fascinating to see those, and I always get nervous when people like want to break up their old binders, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I told her too. I was like, keep this exactly how it is. These are getting these are getting ruined at this point. People are destroying these types of binders, and this is the perfect nostalgic childhood binder.
Right.
I mean, now it's nice to have a reading rainbow of binders behind you.
You mean
that
butterfly in the sky?
It's a cleaner, more professional way to take care of your cards, but there's nothing like the personality of a 1990s, early 2000s childhood binder.
Yeah. You just had those the 3-ring binder, those plastic like sleeves that I'm pretty sure are toxic at this point. No sleeves in all the pockets, right? You just put the cards in.
Multiple cards in each of them.
Right.
Stack each sleeve.
Yep.
And then anything you had left over was in that front pocket of the.
Yes. Yeah. You had empty pack wrappers, empty thing. Yep, exactly.
Right. You're like, well, I didn't have room for my my first edition Charizard, so I put it right here in this pocket.
I want it to be the first thing I see, so it's just going to be stapled to the
My brother kept trying to steal it, so I would put it right here so he wouldn't see it.
Yes, exactly. Laminate it and make sure it's protected.
You know, the last time that we saw each other was Japan?
Yes. I actually just watched your Japan video before this because I knew that's what I wanted to talk to you both a lot about. Because I haven't had the chance to like talk to somebody else about their experience with Japan, and obviously yours was a little bit more unique than others. But yeah, I mean we stayed at the same hotel, so we crossed paths every now and then.
Were you at the same hotel? Really?
Yeah, at the Kahala.
Yeah.
Beautiful hotel. I miss it.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was walking into a video game when I first walked into that hotel.
I felt like a princess.
Just let me paint a picture here. You walk into, I've never seen this before, so I'm sorry if I sound stupid here, but you walk into the lobby and it's not the lobby. It's like a fake lobby. And there's just one person standing there and you're like, where do I go?
15th floor. Go all the way up to the very top.
They're like, go to this elevator at the end of this hall, and then the lobby is like on the highest floor.
Yeah, it's the opposite, isn't it?
So
like,
crazy.
It was weird. I liked it though. It was
absolutely beautiful. You could see the Ferris wheel from there. I mean, it was just absolutely a beautiful hotel, and obviously, full disclosure, the Pokemon Company took care of my accommodations while I was in Japan for the Yokohama part. So I was very appreciative of that. And walking in, it was just like literally mind blowing to see all that stuff.
They knew who we were. When we got there,
I didn't have to tell them who I was. They were like,
that was the hardest part. We're like, how'd you know? And they're like, oh, we heard on the headset. We're like, yeah, but nobody had our names.
That's
How did
amazing.
You know?
And you guys had the great treatment of the Delta One as well, going through the whole business class, first class experience of flying.
Yeah, any other way.
That's
spoiled. Delta One all the way.
That was literally the first time that I ever flew Delta One, and it's in my like vlog video that I did. You can see a little part of it. First time I've ever flew Delta One. I figured if we're going to Japan, let's be as comfortable as possible. It was my longest flight I've ever taken, so I was like, let's just go for it. And it was a wonderful experience. Like, you have your own little cubby that you sit in, and they just nonstop keep bringing you food, to the point where I was just like, okay, can you like let me chill for just like a minute? I'm good. I don't need any more Diet Cokes.
I think you were more spoiled than I did, because like you were like, yeah, everybody was there. I'm like, I saw them like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, what did you do?
They kept coming. Well, because I kept asking for things, and I was like, well, we're gonna make the most of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting as many cheese platters as I possibly can.
Yeah, those flights can get expensive, so you got to take advantage of every little thing you can.
Right, and I don't know if I would do it again, because it was very expensive.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, if this is like a once in a lifetime trip, Worlds in Japan for the first time ever, let's really just to the max, make this the best possible trip that we can remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I'm obnoxious. I get up every few hours. Well, more than that. I need to stretch. I need to make sure I'm like getting on schedule with Japan time and taking care of and eating at the right time. So I'm very obnoxious when it comes to those long flights.
I think that's just being responsible with your body.
Yeah, I guess so, but not enough. Yeah, not enough people do it. They should. If they did,
no, I should have done it.
Yeah, I didn't do it. That was probably my fault.
I was just a go hard. I was like, all right, we'll just figure out as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help that much, I guess, with the jet lag. Still, I was waking up at 4 a.m. going for walks in the middle of downtown Tokyo because I was awake, but.
I wasn't really affected by the jet lag when I was there. It was when I got back to the U.S. is when it hit hard.
Yeah, that was the worst. Because you're so excited being in Japan, and then you're back home. You're like, it takes like a month to get back on track.
Honestly, it really did probably take about a month. I'm not gonna lie.
Was that so? That was your first time, both of you, in Japan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, first time ever, which is weird because, I do a lot better with my anxiety now. But especially early on in life when I was a kid, and even when I started doing YouTube as well, like anxiety was through the roof about everything, like literally everything, even going to the movies, right? Like, was a journey for me because I'd be outside of the movie theater literally throwing up because I was just so nervous to go inside. So Japan in my mind was always the number one place I wanted to go to, but it wasn't achievable for me because I felt like my anxiety couldn't handle it. So it was always just like, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to watch other people enjoy it for the rest of my life. And to, slowly kind of work through dealing with anxiety and figuring out kind of like some coping mechanisms and stuff like that. I was able to work myself up to actually do it. And it's one of those things. It's like when you do something like that, you like literally feel like you can conquer anything after that. And that's how I felt for sure. So it's one of those things. It's like, I don't mean to go out on a big like life lesson here, but it's like literally one of those things of just like, don't ever give up on like any dream, no matter how little or big the dream is, because at the end it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Yeah, no, I'd like to get in deep with these podcasts and talk more about life and feelings and all that stuff. This is an opportunity for people to get to know the Pokemon creators, the collectors that aren't just on Instagram showing off cards or on YouTube looking underneath shelves on dirty floors for Pokemon. So
I'm not saying there's a new episode of Hidden Pokemon Cards out, but it just went up today.
So Marie, are you similar in that vein of having anxiety of that level, or were you kind of that catalyst to help Nate get over all this?
His was way worse. So like mine wasn't, I never noticed it when I was younger. So I went through like just kind of did whatever. But with him starting to go on flights, because I'd already been on planes before, I was like, oh no, you'll be fine. Everything's great. So I think like that might have helped a little bit. And because I had been to England once before when he went to London for Worlds last year.
Yeah, 2022.
I was like, oh, it's an easy flight. Like it's a longer flight, but you'll be fine. And I was just like, so I was able to kind of coach him on going and being fine. But somewhere like in the last couple years, my anxiety came back around and now like I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I am a homebody. I can't go anywhere. I don't want to do it. And now he's coaching me through everything. So I'm like, all right.
We take turns.
Yeah, we do. We fall apart at different times.
We like to share.
Pick us back up.
I guess it's better to be on the different end, so you guys can help each other out instead of both being on the same the same
so
cycle
I was able
there
to
and
get him up and
it
be
being
like,
a
no,
disaster.
planes are great. And now he's like, oh, you can get over anxiety.
Let me tell you about planes, okay? My first flight ever is 2017. I fly to Sacramento, California. My first flight ever. I used to be a celebrity moderator for Q&As at conventions way back in the day. And so 2017, my first flight ever. And, obviously, like, in my mind, I'm pretty sure that this is, I'm going to die. So I've accepted it at this point that I'm just going to die on this flight. And
no, because this was not your first flight, because it was the first flight you went on alone. You'd been on flights before.
No, this was my first flight. Yeah. Sacramento, my first flight ever. And because Casey was with me on my first flight, and so you're gonna get this husband and wife back and forth.
No, this is great. This is fantastic. This is why I asked.
This is the story. I think it is.
But what I'm saying is, okay, first flight, I just assume like, hey, this is probably where it's it for me. So so long. I'll see you later. But everything's fine. It's great. The flight works out perfect. Second flight I go on, Oklahoma City. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And there, fine. On the way back, not so fine. On the way back, the plane catches on fire while we're in the air.
What?
Yeah, this is my second flight ever. Someone who is deathly afraid of flying. And everybody you talk to is like, no, it's fine. Like, I've been on 100 flights and something's never happened. My second flight, plane catches on fire in the air. And like, you can smell it inside of the cabin. And this is like 5 minutes before we land. And so we land, and as we're landing, they come over the speaker and they're like, hey, just so you all know, the plane is on fire. So once we land, you have to get up and exit immediately. Like, they said, don't grab anything. Literally get up and get off. Do not grab your backpack. Do not grab your luggage. Get up, get off. So what does everybody do?
Grab their bags.
Right. Well, it's just right here. Just let me grab it real fast.
One second. It's fine.
I'm in the last row, by the way.
Of course.
Flight. So I have to go through everybody's like, let me just grab this. And then this person's cussing at this person because they're not going fast enough.
Yep.
And second flight ever. So
did you end up getting your bags or?
Yeah. I ended up getting them like 15 minutes later.
Okay.
But it was like literally like the plane's landing and there's already fire trucks.
Yeah, that was a weird
thing at the on the tarmac waiting for the plane to land.
Were you watching the news, Marie?
No, I was at the airport picking him up. And so I'm looking out the window and I see all of these fire trucks around, and Nate's like texting me like, hey, the plane's on fire. I'm like, what? Why is your plane on fire?
There's one way to scare your wife.
I know. So I'm like standing there and I'm like texting him, and he just stops texting me completely, like nothing. Radio silence. I'm like, well, he's dead. Okay, cool. Guess I'm leaving.
Yeah,
it's time to find a new husband. It's over.
Right.
Maybe a magic Yu-Gi-Oh content creator.
Oh, there you go.
But you'll be left with all of this.
Yeah, I got to sort more.
There's my flying story. You never know what can happen. You just never know.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, yeah. So you, having all this anxiety and doing, the mediation for celebrity, conferences for speeches. Like, that's a pretty big public facing. That's the number one fear, right? Is
it is
public speaking.
Weird enough, it's now turned into one of my favorite things to do. I love public speaking. I love getting up on a stage. If you put a microphone in my hand, that's bad news for you, because I will talk on that thing all day long. I love being on a stage, talking on a microphone.
And then you guys start pointing at your watch. Like,
just being in front of people. I just absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. So if anybody out there is looking for a host hey, we're here. Why not? If anybody's looking for a host, just let me know. Let me know. I'll be more than happy
party too. I'm sure there's some more hosting opportunities that Pat needs for that.
I'm definitely going to talk to him about it. We did the podcast. We did Shadowless podcast at the last one. So
that's right. Okay.
So yeah. So I'm always down to host. I love it. Cool.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm doing events with TikTok now, so maybe I can find ways to help connect there. That could be really cool.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Fun. Let me know.
Absolutely. So Japan again.
Right. Yes.
I want to really dive into your experience here because, as you mentioned, Pokemon took care of you, took care of a couple content creators to come out there and be there on behalf of Pokemon International. Mm-hmm. But there's a few. I mean, I want to hear about it all, but there's a few specific ones that blow my mind as a
wonder
collector.
Which one that could be.
Right. Number one being the meeting Yukimori and getting to learn how to make the clay molds or clay figures that she does for art. And then obviously, I mean, I think this was done at the same time, but getting to explore the creature's office.
I mean, words cannot describe how unique and a once in a lifetime experience that actually is. And they even stress to us that this is something that Pokemon has never done before. This is literally the first time that they have done something like this. And I didn't really know what we were in for going into it. I knew we were going to the creature's office, but looking at the schedule, you don't have like 2 paragraphs of information. Right. So going into it, I was like, oh, this is going to be neat. This sounds like it's going to be fun. Right. And then you get there and then they explain exactly what's going to happen. You're like, wait a minute. Like, we're going to do that right now. Like in person. This is not like, over Skype or Zoom or something. Like, we're doing this in person right now. And this was literally the coolest thing as a kid growing up in rural Indiana, right?
Not going on a plane until 2017.
Not going on a plane
at age 25.
Never ever did I think in my life that I would be in Japan at the creature's headquarters being taught by Yukimori, one of the most amazing Pokemon artists of all time, being taught how to sculpt a Pokemon step by step at where the Pokemon cards are born.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was such a wild experience, and I'm so honored and I'm so grateful to the Pokemon Company International for allowing me to be a part of that opportunity. And like I said, as a kid from rural Midwest, right? Like it's something that I never thought was ever possible. So to grow up with the fandom and to love it for your entire life, and then you get to do that as an adult, like it's one of those things like you just really want to go back in time and just tell yourself like this is what's going to happen in the future. Right? Like just keep your head up, dude. It was such a great experience, and Yukimori, extremely lovely and so kind and gentle in person. And we get in there, we have the clay all laid out. Everybody kind of has their stations, and everybody has their clay, and literally she's going through step by step, now do this with the clay, and giving us very fine details of why you want to do it this way and not this way to give it that certain look, right? Obviously Yukimori is a pro, so yours is going to look nothing like hers does. But we all of us made Magnemite.
Right.
And, we got to add our own expressions of how we wanted our Magnemite to be. So, that Magnemite has a little eye. So we got to make the expression in the eye however we wanted to. And weirdly enough, it's me and then Super Duper Danny sitting beside each other. We don't talk to each other through this entire process. And then once we're done, we look at each other and we're like, look what I made. We made the exact same expression on our Magnemites. But one of the cool things is that she had the actual Magnemite from the Pokemon 151 card that just got released earlier this year. She had the actual Magnemite sitting right there, like not behind a glass case, not like, it's literally just like sitting on like it was like a piece of paper or something, and she just like picks it up, and you know, she kind of holds it and shows everybody, and everybody's like, oh, that's really awesome. And then she's like, no, this is the actual one from the card. And then everybody just loses their mind, right?
Yeah.
Nobody thinks that like you're going to bring the actual one from the card, but no, like that was the actual one from the card. So we got to do a picture with Yukimori to where like I'm holding my Magnemite and she's holding her 1,000 times better Magnemite. And so it was so neat. Amazing experience. The creature's headquarters, you know, when you walk in, it's just a completely white room, and it's thousands of Pokemon cards on the wall, but they're all like outlines of Pokemon cards. So they're not like, this is a Pikachu and this is a Charizard. It's just like the outline of a Pokemon card and like the box on the inside, right? So they're all the same, but throughout these thousands of Pokemon cards are 8 hidden energy cards. So yeah, there's one for every single energy, you know, including the fire, or including the fairy. But you have to go around this room and find where all 8 of those hidden energies are.
Are they like really unique and special energy cards, or are they normal energy cards?
They're just normal looking energy cards, but that's like I feel like Pokemon always does something like fun like that. And that's just kind of like their way of adding in some fun, I feel like, to the main office, because you walk in, you see all these Pokemon cards, and then they tell you, yeah, there's 8 hidden energies around this room, go find them all. Yeah. And you're like, what? So you know, that was neat. They had Daniel Arsham's card sculptures on the wall as well, like the big ones. They had those in the main portion. As soon as you walk in, they took us to another floor that we couldn't take pictures of or anything like that. We just got to walk around and kind of see that. That's where more kind of like the technical side of stuff is being done. And then we got to kind of like have an interview with the playtesters for the TCG as well. We couldn't take any pictures during that, but we got to meet some of the playtesters. And, you know, it's literally like this small room we're sitting in, 2 of the playtesters right there. You know, we have a translator, and, you know, we get to ask them all sorts of questions, you know, and then they just pull out some like playtest decks that they're testing with. They're like, all right, here's one that we're working with like right now. And it's literally just, you know, just a deck of playtest cards, which is, it has like the moves listed on it, but it just has like a basic image of the Pokemon. So the artwork is not done or anything like that. So if it's like, you know, if it's like a Pikachu, it's just a Pikachu on the card. There's nothing else. So, but it's still neat to see. They even let us hold them too. We're like, oh, whoa.
That's really cool.
And you got to ask them all sorts of things. You know, I definitely took advantage of the opportunity to ask as many questions as I possibly could. Obviously, I wanted to make sure everybody else asked questions too, but when I saw, you know, a moment where I was like, all right, nobody's going to ask anything. All right, I got another one. You know, asking them about banned Pokemon cards and how they deal with the banned Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So it's really neat to hear about the process and actually meet the people that's working on this. And they showed us images of like where they actually play test, which is really, really neat. It's like they have this library, literally like drawers that you pull open, and they have like play sets of every single card, so they can build just like whatever deck that they want to. And it's just there's people's jobs to just play test all day, every day. And it's just, like I said, once in a lifetime opportunity. And I am so grateful and thankful to TPCI for inviting me. It literally is something I'll never forget. And I have the Magnemite that I made sitting downstairs.
And you still hold over.
Did you get to do? You didn't go? Were you not? No. Were you not allowed, or was it like?
It was very limited. It was very limited thing. So there was 10 Pokemon partners that were invited, and it was just the partners could come. So,
gotcha.
Like I said, very limited.
No plus ones.
No plus ones.
Right. Very limited space. Right. So, so like, unfortunately, she couldn't come, but like Zoe Two Dots was there, and Zoe's husband couldn't come as well. So.
And he goes and meets my absolute favorite artist.
It is her favorite artist.
Yukamori.
Really?
And I'm like, who are you meeting? So he got to meet Yukamori, showing me the picture of him. He's like, look, this is me and Yukamori. By the way, did you know I met Yukamori? By the way, I made art with Yukamori. I'm like, okay.
It would have been cool if you like took her Magnemite, your Magnemite, and Super Duper Danny's and took a picture and used it for a Magneton for like the next set.
Oh, that would have been awesome. And then people would have been like, okay, now that one makes sense, but these other two, I don't know what those.
Yeah, she's losing it. She's losing it. I got to spend a little bit of time with Miss Himeno, with Kagimaru Himeno.
Okay.
The original artist for like the Evolutions from Jungle and and all that. We we hung out for a little bit one night, watched the drone show, and I
thought you were gonna say like we watched Step Brothers or something.
Yeah, we left the Pokemon. It was a group of us. One of my friends knows some of the artists decently well, and she's just an absolute sweetheart, the cutest human being ever, and so artistic. So just like, she loves cars, and she had a really rare, expensive Pokemon shirt from the Tropical Mega Battle, but she like cut it up and made it look all cool. So we were like,
oh my, do that.
Yeah, like, oh, you just ruined the shirt, but it also looks awesome.
But did she? But did she ruin it? You know what I mean?
It looks it's way better. But yeah, just the absolute sweetest human being. So that was really cool.
I was on the watch out all weekend long for Tomokazu Kamiya, my favorite artist of all time, and I was like, all right.
You don't get to meet them both.
I kept a Tomokazu card on me just in case. In case.
Has Kamiya done any signing events? I think Kamiya's been doing some stuff in Japan recently.
I had someone that sent me some pictures from a signing recently. Yeah. So maybe one day.
I'm trying to find Kasube. Kasube does did the Versus series, like Lance's Charizard and Lance's Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
And they look like where the wild things are a little bit.
Yeah.
That's my favorite artist, but she's nowhere to be found. So she's a secret one. I don't know where she's been.
Well, hey, you gotta respect the privacy, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
If somebody wants to sign, they'll come out and sign.
They're not they're not your tools for autographs and drawings. They're people.
That's what I always say. Respect somebody's privacy. If they want to come out and sign something, then they'll do that. Until then, just let them be and let them live their life.
Yeah. So what else did you guys do in Japan? Like obviously, like I myself, I took 7 days or 8 days or whatever to go to Tokyo and Kyoto and enjoy myself in the sweaty, hot, humid weather. But what did you guys do like for yourselves? Did you go on any fun dates? Did you go anywhere? What did you guys do?
We went on dates with 5 other people at all times.
Always, I was watching all of my ducklings. I'm like, do I have everybody? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
So we've been planning this trip for months, like leading up to it, and so we went as a group. Us two, Super Duper Danny, Jordan Fringe, Sarah Natachini, and Unlisted Leaf. We all went together as a group. We all traveled through Japan together, stayed at the same hotels and everything. So we were literally on Zooms every single day, and then working and trying to get everything down pat. And then I think after the first or second day, Bear Walker had joined us, and so Bear traveled around with us as well. So that was our group the entire time that we were there. So we did when we got there.
2 weeks. So we actually went a week before World started, so we could kind of travel around a little bit. So we started Tokyo, then we went to Osaka, Kyoto,
and then Yokohama.
So we had that 1 week ahead, so we could kind of get acclimated to the culture and like make sure if we knew how to get around.
I figured it'd be better to go a week ahead of time, right? Because then the Pokemon Center still have stuff.
Oh.
Where if you go a week after,
did they though? They were all out of the good stuff.
No, when we went, they were still fully stocked on everything. Like they were not not empty shelves at all.
Packs were hard to get. People were going crazy over packs.
That
Outside of that, it was pretty much stocked up.
We were able to get packs one time at a Pokemon Center.
I think it was like the first one we went to.
Yeah.
Never saw them again.
We got Ruler of the Black Flame, I believe, and got 5 packs. So it's one of those things you're like, I don't necessarily need these 5 packs, but I want to buy Pokemon cards from a Pokemon Center in Japan, so I have to buy these 5 packs.
Yeah, I went way too crazy. Doing that. I mean, thankfully I had gotten that out of my system the first time I went to Japan. But when it came to the World's store, I filled my bags to the brim with everything possible. I still haven't even gone through it all, but I have so much stuff from that store. It's a little bit daunting to think about how many stickers and socks and sleeves.
But I was like going through. I'm like, do I need socks? I don't know, but I want to get them.
Right. But, it's like Pokemon Worlds in Japan. Like, when will we ever see that again? Like, probably like 50th anniversary, if it ever happens again, right? And it's just, all the merch was just so cool, though. It didn't matter what it was. It was just put Pikachu eating ramen on anything, on a toaster, and you're like, I want it.
I pulled this out to show you guys. I haven't shown it publicly yet, but I kind of did. I went to a collect-a-con with one of these.
Oh, but, the big reveal?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna walk away. I was gonna play a sound.
No, I placed it here because I knew I was gonna bring it up. I just didn't know when. But
is that a competitor? Or?
This is this. So they have a golf tournament. Yeah, they have a golf tournament every year. The employees.
Oh, goodness.
And they get exclusive golf merch. And
that is wild.
Finally got one. It's got a hat.
No.
The little Pikachu playing golf logo. It's got socks with the same little logo. Let's see. This is a head cover for a driver. It's got a ho-oh on it. I've got some golf tees.
They say Yokohama. Oh, I love it.
I mean, that's
how cool is that?
And then there's also
neat stuff.
Wait, there's more. No.
This is the little golf towel.
Oh my
Isn't
gosh,
that incredible?
I love the outfits that they're wearing.
I know.
And they do a good job with having like a female and a male.
That's adorable.
Right?
Yes.
Of the Pikachu.
I mean, that's awesome stuff. Yeah. And I think that's so neat that Pokemon does stuff like that, right? Like, given people that they're close to and employees and stuff like that, and doing unique stuff. I just think that's so, because a company doesn't have to do that, right? Like, and that's so neat that they think of stuff like that, and that they care to want to treat others with stuff like that. So I think that's so neat.
Yeah, it's really awesome, and people don't know about that stuff yet. But
I didn't know about that. That's so cool.
I was with Swolpoke, which I think was on your flight to Japan.
Yes, but
Jeremy.
We got off the plane, and he was like right there when we started walking down the hall, and I was like, "What are you doing?" we were on the same flight, and then we all stopped together to start taking pictures of the Yokohama Pokemon Worlds Yokohama advertisements on every single wall.
Yeah, it was crazy how much there was. But the first day that the tournament opened, the thing for collectors is, all right, we had to go find staff members, we had to go find competitors, or we got to get the competitor bags, we got to get the staff bags because we need the staff stamp cards. And
you're going hard.
We need all this stuff. And we see it, and we need it. and we see a guy with this backpack, and we're like, "What is that?" And it was a Japanese guy. I didn't feel like bugging him. It definitely was like, okay, he's definitely some big shot at Pokemon. We don't want to, overstep. Mm-hmm. So we spent like all weekend and then weeks after trying to find these things, and they just don't nobody gets rid of them. I luckily was able to get one. So I'm very happy to have it. It's one of my favorite things now because I golf as well. So
that's
great,
so cool.
Great collection piece.
Well, I don't know if you've seen my my Build-A-Bear Psyduck back there. I don't think you got one of those. Okay. All right. I don't mean to flex on you or anything, but
where's the original artwork for the Bear Walker Psyduck board? You got to find that.
Oh, the original artwork. I believe he keeps all his prototypes. We've talked about this on the Shadowless podcast before when Bear's been on, but if I remember correctly, I believe he keeps like the originals of all the boards that he does, and then like anything that is like a defect or what, just like any of that kind of stuff. They get rid of it at the end of the year. They do like a burning of the boards type of thing.
An event. The burning Pokemon event.
Yeah, they get rid of all the boards that way. But Bear knows. He knows that I love Psyduck, so that was actually a gift from Bear Walker, that Psyduck board. So
that's awesome. I always kind of, whenever his name pops up, I just remember, because I was on the Shadowless podcast way back when you used to have guests before Danny.
Started.
Before Danny
joined. Super Duper Danny was not on it the first year.
Right.
And then when we got into the second year, we were like, we need somebody else on this podcast. Like having 3 people on a podcast where you can kind of bounce back and forth between 3 people. One person can take a break if they need to. And then we're like, all right, who's that third person going to be? I didn't even take a breath, and I was like, Danny.
Yeah,
absolutely, it's Danny.
It's a perfect fit, and that But that episode was that they were recorded was when they announced the Bear Walker collab, and it was like, oh, are we getting them? This is exciting. This is cool. And now you're just hanging out with them in Japan, and
it's literally full circle type of thing. Yeah, we were talking about those boards, and we were like, these things are going to be cool, and like we didn't feel like enough people were talking about them, because I feel like that was like one of the first major drops on Pokemon Center, US Pokemon Center. I felt like, and they didn't sell out right away. I think it was like about 4 to 6 hours in is when they all sold out. But then it's like, then series 2 and 3 dropped, and it's like they're all sold out within 3 minutes, and it just shows you from one series to the next, like how much popularity can grow. And that first series only had 150 of each board. So,
yeah, I think it was just the Togepi that was taking a while to sell out. The rest of them sold out right away.
Yeah, I think Togepi. No, actually, I don't think it was Togepi. I think it may have been Toxtricity. Toxtricity was the.
I thought that was the second one.
That was the second one.
Wait, well, Togepi was in the second wave.
No, Togepi was first. It was Charizard, Pikachu,
Gengar, Gyarados. There's only 5. There was only 5 in the first one. Yeah, Charizard, Pikachu, Gengar, Gyarados, and Mewtwo.
What? Really?
Yeah, and then the second wave was Umbreon, Rayquaza, Togepi, Toxtricity, and maybe there's only 4.
I kind of feel like you're mixing up Gengar and Togepi.
I mean, I kind of feel like I'm not.
Okay, I'm trying to look it up. I don't know.
Is Maria okay?
Marie's
trying.
Maria's looking it up right now.
Because that's the only one I have. Is the only one I could get.
Series 1.
Did someone scam you and tell you it was a Series 1?
No, I got it from Pokemon Center. I forget. Okay. I mean, I trust you more than me on this. But
well, get this. I'm gonna find it.
She's looking it up right now. I can. All right, you're actually on the Bear Walker site right now.
I am desperate.
First release.
Series 1 of the Pokemons will feature 5 unique decks.
I don't think it listed Pokemon.
Pikachu.
I don't know. You keep looking and get us a definitive answer.
Okay, you were right. I pulled it up on Bulbapedia.
How'd you?
I was going to see if I had a sound that I can play for you.
You were right.
Okay, let's go.
Incredible. All right. So I want to. I'm very curious of getting into Marie's head here.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
And we kind of started off the podcast with this, but what was going through your head when? So were you dating Nate before he started YouTube?
Oh, can I tell this story?
I don't know what story it is you want to say.
So when he started doing YouTube was you quit your job to start YouTube 3 months before our wedding.
Yeah.
So that was
okay. So you'd been dating for a while then before.
Yes. We'd been dating for 5 years.
Yeah, we had been dating for 5 years.
And what were you guys doing?
Hanging out.
What do you mean?
For a job? Like, what were you doing?
I'm like,
sometimes we go get some gelato. I don't.
Gelato in the middle of.
So when we first started dating, let me see. So I think we both worked in retail.
Yeah, 2009 is when we started dating.
Yeah. I was working in a nursing home.
Yeah, you were working in a nursing home.
In the kitchen. That was fun.
When I quit my job, because 2014 is when I started my channel, February 2014. I quit my job probably like March of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
What was the job you quit?
And I was a manager at American Eagle.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And so I got, you know how the backstage politics go at the Eagle. I went in one day and I was like, I've had enough of these politics. And so I literally, I'm not even kidding, I took my keys to the store and I threw them on the table. And I was like, I'm going to go be a YouTuber.
How did that feel?
For the moment?
For like great. 5 seconds, felt great. And then you walk out the door and you're like, what did I just do?
And you hadn't started the YouTube channel at all? Or was it on the side as a hobby, like you were kind of doing it?
I don't even think I uploaded a video yet.
No.
Wow.
I didn't even upload a video yet because I was just learning like how it works, right? Like because those early days of YouTube, which I wish a lot of people got to experience those early days of YouTube, because it was very much like the Wild West of like trying to figure out how things worked. And so that's what I was doing. And I didn't realize, like, I'm so naive on my part. I didn't realize like how much goes into this. I thought I could just like turn on the camera and then next thing I know,
were you prepped for this, Marie? Did you know this was happening?
No.
And so
I had no idea. But I was like, okay, this is something you want to do. Great. Let's go. This will be fun.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Is that okay?
That was her exact quote.
That's exactly what it was. That's
that is actually Marie. Hang on. Yeah.
Yep, that's her. Yep.
Yeah, she was walking down a hallway leaving me.
But yeah, so I think at the time I was working, was I at Justice? I think I was a assistant manager at like a girls' store.
Justice, you remember Justice?
Yeah.
So I worked there for
There's a little heart over the eye or something, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah. You did
Yeah, it's part of Limited 2, if you remember the good old days. But I was cool with it because I was wanting to start my career, and so I got into criminal justice. And so soon after we got married, I got a job as a probation officer. And so I'm like, all right, we'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, a couple months after he quit his job, he started working at a donut shop because
it wasn't a couple months. It was I had money saved up from working at the Eagle, right? In the industry, we call it the Eagle. From working at the Eagle. And so a year goes by and I'm basically just like eating up my savings, right? Not even for the channel, but just to pay bills, right? So I'm not like necessarily buying stuff for the channel. I'm just staying alive and staying afloat at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year goes by and I'm like, this is not looking good here. We might have made a wrong turn somewhere along the way. And so I was like, I got to go get a job. And but the issue is that we only had one car. We could only afford a payment for one car. And so she was using that for her job. And I was like, I got to go find something within walking distance of where we live. And we live in a very small town. There's like the population's like 6,000 people. I grew up in a town where there was like originally like one stoplight type of situation. And so there was a donut shop that was opening that month. And so I walked down to the donut shop and put in my application, and I think I got the job like a week later. So and I was already doing social media. So when I applied for the job, I was like, hey, I kind of do this other thing on the side. I could do your social media as well. And so I think that really intrigued them, that I could take care of their Facebook page and take care of like all the marketing and promotions that they did. So I did that along with making donuts. And so from 2015 all the way up to August 2017, my schedule was wake up at 5 a.m., walk to the donut shop, be there at 5:30, work until 2 p.m., come home, film a video, edit that video, upload that video. And then by that time, it's like 11 p.m. or midnight. And then it was go to sleep for 4 or 5 hours. And so I literally did that for about 3 years straight.
You were also like, you were selling your wrestling collection, and we were going through.
I was going through.
What do we not need this week that we can pump money into the Pokemon?
Things that I just collected throughout my life. I was big into collecting wrestling figures for a while on top of Pokemon. And so it was one of those things that was just like, I just started like, okay, what can I get rid of and sell to fund the channel in any way? And there'd be times to where we'd have a grocery budget, literally X amount of money for the groceries, and a new collection box would come out, and I'd be like, oh, it'd be great to open this up on the channel, $19 back in the day. And she without a skip and a beat, she'd be like, all right, let's take $20 out of the groceries and you go get that box so you can do a video and upload it. Like never even questioned it one bit. Always believed in me. And
was that crazy? Yes. Very.
Yeah.
But
idiotic.
it's what he loved. I know it was so stupid, but it's what he loved to do. And I was like, that's what you want to do? Do it. Absolutely love it.
And so, and I quit my job, right? Before we got married. And then you lost your job.
Lost my job in 2017.
And in 2017, she lost her job. And, our health insurance is through her, the bulk of our income is through her. And you lost your job in like what, June of April of 2017. I can
tell you the exact day.
April of 2017, she lost her job, and I quit working at the donut shop in August of 2017.
Wow.
This a few months after you lost your job, and you hadn't gotten a new job yet. We didn't have any health insurance, and I quit a for sure paycheck at the donut shop. Not a lot of money, but it was something for sure, right? And I quit that job to do YouTube full time, because once August 2017 rolled around, it was I was gaining a little bit of traction on YouTube, and I thought, if I just had all the time to dedicate to this instead of just a few hours, like I wonder what I could bring to the world of Pokemon or just YouTube. And so I was like, I can always go find another donut shop where I can come crawling back and begging for mercy at this one.
Well, you didn't slam keys on the counter at that one.
And so yeah, I put my 2 weeks in and left, and never looked back. I quit on good terms, because I would say, hey, if you ever need me to come in here and sling some donuts around, just give me a call and I'll come down here. And they would call me all the way up until 2019. So I was still going in the donut shop probably like once in a month, just because I just loved that environment and loved being around the people that worked there. And
they were giving me hours too, which was really nice, because I didn't have a job, and they're like, oh, if you need something, like we'll put you to work over here. I'm like, okay. But also, his dad was gracious enough to let us live with him for the years while we were doing all of this.
We were living with my dad since the day we got married. We lived with my dad all the way up until 2019, late 2019. And then we finally took the plunge to like, all right, I think we can afford to make mortgage payments and stuff like that. And so we took a really scary dive to do that. And then a few months later, then the pandemic hit, and it was like, oh, great. Did we make a mistake here? But yeah, that was a wild journey to look back on. And so it's something that, I look back with, even though we went through a lot of hardships, mentally, financially, I look back on with fond memories of just like, of us just going like, we got it. I don't know how we got it, but
we'll figure this out.
We got this somehow, you know?
Like, I mean, I feel like we did it again. We did it again last September when, after you came back from London, you were like, you want to quit your job? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So he's now covering the health insurance, and I quit my job so I can try to take a crack at doing YouTube on my own. So we're like, all right, let's just be reckless for life.
Yeah. You know,
and run.
I'm grateful that we can do something like that, because I know that's not something that
not everybody
that you can just do, right? And so I'm very grateful that we can do something like that. And you know, basically how that came about, you know, you were working full-time job, with the government.
It was contracted with the government position. So
you had been working there since 2020 or late 2019.
Yeah, 2019 is when I got the job there.
And so I went to Worlds in London last year, you know, thanks to TPCI, and I went out there and I had the time of my life, but I was like, man, this would be even more awesome if Marie was with me. Yeah. Right. If she got to come on this trip with me and do this. And so when I was in London, like, I'm sitting in the hotel by myself and I'm like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to ask Marie if she wants to quit her job. I'm going to ask her so she can do this with me. And so I came home, and one of the first things, I sat down and I was like, all right, I got this wild idea. You want to quit your job and you can try YouTube, and then you can be on the Real Breaking Nate channel even more. And we put the wheels in motion, and in September 2022, she quit her job. And so we've been, you know, who knows how long we'll get to do this, right? Yeah. Like, you know, maybe it's like another year, and then it's, you know, maybe it's another year and then I'm back working at a donut shop or whatever.
I don't say we did it.
I don't know, but we
open
had
up
the
your own donut shop.
There we go.
That was a funny story there. We got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to. I've tried really hard these past few years to not live with regret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so if we have the opportunity to do something for 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be, take the opportunity. We'll just figure it out. I don't know. I'm not a smart person. All right. I'm not a smart person by any means. I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. People always think I know what I'm doing. I don't. I really don't know what I'm doing. I just
hope for the best.
That's really honestly all I do. I just hope for the best. And I just try to have fun.
That's a beautiful, amazing story. And I mean, that's one of the secrets to life, Nate. That's like a piece of advice that people need to learn, is that no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
None of us.
True.
I don't try to pretend that I know what I'm doing. But I just, at the end of the day, I just know that I want to do something that makes me happy. Mm-hmm. Something that can hopefully inspire others to do something, whether it be YouTube or whether it be owning a different type of business or whatever it may be. Just as long as you're just doing something that you love and that you're just putting good out into the world, and, you know, as I like to say, the positive vibes, you're just putting those out there. Like, I don't feel like you can go wrong if you're just doing something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
All right.
That's awesome. Well, you are the Mr. Rogers of Pokemon.
Right?
I also think you look like you look like Gene Wilder from Willy Wonka.
Oh.
I think. Yeah. So I think you're meant to be.
You get nothing. You lose.
That's complete opposite of positive vibes.
It's true.
But
I mean, there were some mornings I was waking up that I felt like I was hearing that in my head. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah,
funny thing is, that's not the first time that someone said I look like Gene Wilder.
When we first started dating, my friends would say, like, oh, he looks like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, compliment. All right.
Yeah.
You tell me anybody else that owns a chocolate factory.
That's true.
All right. I think they were trying to act like it was a negative comment.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's a great comment. Good looking dude. Very entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Everlasting gobstoppers.
Everlasting gobstoppers.
What more could you want? What more?
He's a genius. You're a genius, Nate. That's what you're doing.
No. I honestly, I really don't know what I'm doing. I so much so that last year I got invited to speak at a university for their business class. In the business side or business, whatever they call it. Business department, right?
Business college.
And they're like, hey, would you like to come and give an hour-long lecture on how to run a business when it comes to content creating? And so I have it all on video, and I've never released any clips of it before. But it's literally I go up in front of this, what do they call it? Like stadium seating.
It was an auditorium.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I go up there, I'm wearing a blazer. I have a Mewtwo shirt on, wearing a blazer.
So classy.
And hey, this is what I do. All right. I love Pokemon. I have the blazer on. I didn't wear the hat, but I had my hair in a bun, and I go up there and I was just like, hey, I just want to start this off, being honest with all of you. I quit college and dropped out about a year and a half, 2 years. And so I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to give you the best advice that I possibly can.
That's kind of like every famous lecturer that goes to a college to speak. They didn't go to college.
Yeah.
This is
not helpful. Too busy doing something else.
Yeah. It's completely. It just doesn't work for the kids that are sitting there.
They're like, you know what? Wait, I could be doing that.
Everybody was so fascinated. They really were. And afterwards they told the professors told me that it was like the most engaged the students had ever been in one of the the guest speaker lectures. I think just a lot of people are interested in social media in general, right? Because it is very foreign kind of how it works. Yeah, you can go to websites and watch YouTube videos, but it still is very kind of much a foreign type of career when diving into it. And so I just started off and was just honest, right? I did college for about two-ish years, and then I dropped out. Yep. So
you see that where you did this speech was at the college I graduated from.
That's amazing.
Are you kidding me? He's like, they gave me a jacket too. I'm like, no, they didn't.
They did. And they gave
me a diploma.
And that was the one thing I joked about. I was like, they gave me this like weird doctorate too. And she was like, wait, no, like she believed it for a minute.
I did.
And I was like,
the doctorate, and then I was like, oh, you jerk.
Yeah.
But I weirdly enough, when I dropped out of college, I was going to college for mortuary science. I was going to
embalm.
I was going to. I wanted to like own my own funeral home, and
dude.
It stemmed from just a place of helping other people in one of the biggest times of need. Yeah. And it stemmed from I lost my stepdad to a motorcycle accident. Someone texting and driving back a while.
It was 2008.
Yeah, it was way back then. And it killed my stepdad and it put my mom in a coma. And I had to plan the entire thing on my own. I had to plan the entire thing. And so that right there is what made me want to do mortuary science, because it was like I saw firsthand how much it was helping me. And so I thought like, oh, this would be great to like help other people at the same time. So
wow. That's really tough. You were in high school.
No,
I wish I was.
Wait, how old are you?
I was 21 at the time.
How old are you?
Old enough.
30.
I can buy a lottery ticket. A scratch off.
Are you 36?
It could be. I've never publicly stated my age.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You can go to famousbirthdays.com and it'll tell you exactly how old I am. It's just it's just something that I've just never got around.
We'll keep it a secret.
I just never literally never got around. I just didn't think it was important.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was important. Like I think when you're having fun, like,
who cares?
Who cares?
Do you know what number are you on the list of Pokemon YouTube celebrities for birthdays?
For birthdays, probably 2.
No, good.
I'm probably the second one on October 11th.
Yeah.
Birthdays of Pokemon YouTubers.
Yes, you're number 2.
I'd be number 2.
Who do you share a birthday with? Do you know?
Brandon, Mystic 7.
Do you really?
Yeah. Me and Brandon share a birthday together. So, and it's weird because I always forget it. I always forget that we share a birthday together. And then I always make a birthday post every year. And I open up like Instagram and like his is always the very top. That's like celebrating another birthday. I'm like, I forgot we share the same birthday together.
That's cool. I like Brandon.
So
I had Brandon on a long time ago now. At this point, it's crazy how quickly this is going, but slow at the same time. All these podcasts.
No, it's I love talking to people. I love hearing stories. I love telling stories. It's just there's so many stories to tell, and one of the stupid things if you want to say it's stupid, but one of the things people always like, what do you collect? I was like, I collect memories. That's what I collect.
I collect is what it is.
I collect relationships. I collect friendships. That's what I tell people.
That's a good thing to collect. That's a good thing. How many friends you got in your Pokédex?
In your Pokédex. Who's in your top 8?
Who's my top 5?
Who's
my
your
Facebook.
Your MySpace
my
top
MySpace
8.
top 5. I was talking about this the other day. I really miss the days where you could see who like everyone's top 3 Snapchat friends were. Like, as awful as it is, it's pretty fun.
Well, we both come from the MySpace days, right? You had MySpace too, right? Yeah.
I actually never did.
Oh,
wait, you didn't?
My parents won't let me.
Oh,
I was too young.
Too young. He was too young.
Okay.
Too young.
I was too young. I'm 30, so MySpace was.
Wow, 30? Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I guess that's a bummer to be you. I'm freshly 24 over here, so. Maybe one day I'll hit 30. We'll see.
One day.
And I don't feel. I know 30s is not old, but
I feel 40. So.
Do you really?
Well, I have health. I've got health issues too, so it's really expedited my lifespan. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this at all, but it's something that we've actually communicated on a little bit, but. And I don't talk about it too often, but I don't have a colon, right? I had ulcerative colitis, technically it's gone because I got rid of the colon, but
at a younger age, you said, right?
Yeah, at 20, it was right after college, 2017. That was 6 years ago. I was 24. And I mean, that led to so much like anxiety issues too, and
absolutely
led to a whole different lifestyle that I have to live, which I don't stick to.
Eating healthier, right? And especially when it comes to anxiety like that, anxiety never truly leaves you. Right. It's always in the back of your mind. Even if you can overcome it, you have the coping mechanisms. It's like a shadow in the back of your mind that you're like, this thing could creep up on me.
When's it going to come back?
At any moment?
This is going too good.
Right. It's like a door wide open in your brain, and you're like, that thing can just walk through the doorway at any time.
Yeah, and that's why, I struggle with having relationships now, like intimate relationships, and I struggle with my work-life balance because I'm like, I gotta do everything I possibly can in this moment while I feel okay, because it could always come back. Something could happen, and all of it comes to a halt. So it's it's a whole just complete mind destruction, and you live a whole different world.
But you're living life.
But I'm living life, man. I'm going to Japan.
Living life. You're enjoying life, and that's the best thing that you can do, right? Is to just live a life that excites you and that makes you keep going, makes you keep wanting to go. And I think you're doing a fantastic job at it. I mean, anytime, we're not texting 24/7 over here, but we always are, kind of behind the scenes of like, you see what the other person's doing, right?
Yeah.
And you're always doing something wild, right? And you're like, I flew to Dubai. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, exactly. Do the thing. Do what's going to bring you life in your soul. Right? And
put that on a shirt. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the
Right?
thing.
Hey,
that's
a
great motto.
Don't anybody steal that, all right?
Let's go 33 on this. And we'll give away the 0.1% to who's ever still watching.
Okay, let's go. But I mean, just whatever brings life to your soul, right? And you're doing exactly that. You're doing exactly that. So you should 100% be proud of yourself for doing
absolutely.
that.
I wouldn't be in this place if it wasn't for that. That worst moment, that worst time. Just like you guys, like you wouldn't be where you're at without being at that struggle and taking that risk, and most importantly, getting over it, getting through it. Like a lot of people will just crumble and succumb to the depression and not be themselves and go out and do what they can do. They'll just accept a terrible fate and live in it and for too long and not get out of it. So
it can be a hard place to get out of, right? And it's different for every single person. No two people are alike, and it just you gotta hope for the best. I always say that tomorrow's another day.
That's right.
Tomorrow's another day to just improve the previous day just a little bit better. You don't got to go out there and climb Mount Everest the next day. You just got to do something just a little bit different that brings you a little bit more life to your soul, right? You got to go down a different road that you don't normally take, eat at a different restaurant, get the 10-piece chicken McNugget instead of the Filet-O-Fish, right? So it sounds wacky, but it's just simple things like that like really just
on your face.
It really can. Yeah. So but because we are creatures of habit. And sometimes getting out of that habit is a good thing to do, and it's something that you learn all throughout life, right? Even doing YouTube, right? Like I get in a habit of doing things a certain way for so long that I'm like, oh, I got to change this up a little bit. Like I've grown as a person since then. I'm a different person than I was 2 years ago or 1 year ago. And so I have to change how I do things and what makes me happy. So
I mean, I'm on like this obsession with doing habit trackers in my journaling. So I have like an entire page of all these habits that I want to do. And now I look forward to every day going in and just like filling in those little circles. And I'm like, yes, color is coming to life. But it's amazing. Like, it's a great way to get yourself motivated to do something, because I've never done the journaling before. So now I'm like learning new ways to create new habits, to try something else. So I just enjoy stuff like that. It's so fun.
Stick with it. And I want to see, I want to see your YouTube channel really like come to fruition with that. Cause I'll share with you the one that I can't remember the name of, but
definitely.
I really do think that's a great piece of content to do, like over time. And
I think it is. Like, I mean, for the couple months I've been doing it, it's been amazing. Yeah.
And it's so, there's so much you can do with it by like looking back at 3 months ago, 1 year ago, 10 years ago. And so it's a nice, on the business side, it's a good flywheel of content where you can just consistently, share that story, and people will like really get invested in following you. And I think that's awesome. I mean, it's just great, positive content to do. So
I'm to the point now to where like I tell her ideas. I'm like, it'd be cool if you. I turned into that person that
I love it.
That I was, people would always give.
Creative genius. Like I can draw and like I can do like artsy stuff, but I don't have the mindset that he's in, where he's like every day he's thinking ideas. And I'm like, well, what should I do? I don't know. Hey, Nate, let's go for a drive to have a conversation.
I mean, my ideas, even when it comes to content, is not necessarily sitting down and going, all right, we're going to sit down and we're going to figure out every little step in this video. It's literally like I wake up and I'm like, what do I feel like doing today? What do I want to do today? And then whatever that is, that's the video, right? Like if I feel like going to $10 Generals today, that's the video. you either like it or you don't like it, right? Like when you watch the channel, you get to see exactly what
mood he's in that
what
day.
mood I'm in, that's exactly what I want to do, right? I have done some like documentary style videos that take a while to do and that do more planning. But when you see kind of like the everyday content, that's just literally me waking up going, all right, today's the day we look under the shelves.
Yeah. And I mean, that's authentic, organic you. And I mean, the opposite of that, someone who does plan could be the authentic, organic version of that person.
Right.
So it's awesome that you do that. And it's awesome that it works for you. It's great. I mean, I guess that's what makes you so happy, right?
I know I'm not like I'm not looking to be the biggest YouTuber out there. I just want to have fun, and I just want other people to hopefully have fun with me. And I just want to have a place within the community to leave some sort of positive impact. At the end of the day, I just like 100 years from now, like want somebody to like look back and just be like, oh, that Real Breaking Nate was just like such a nice dude or a good dude or whatever, or made such fun content or was inspiring, whatever it may be. I just want to leave just a good impact on the community.
Just genuine.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking to be the biggest content creator out there. I could care less.
Keep showing up.
I could care less as our dog.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, we got it.
She's snoozing.
Got our little dog back there as
her
well.
paw keep popping out, and I was like, we should probably address that.
So it's just having fun. At the end of the day, it's just having fun. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm wacky. I know I talk too much. I know I'm too loud. I know I tell cringe jokes. I don't care.
I get secondhand embarrassment.
It really is. It really is. To documenting is one of the things that I absolutely love doing so much. And
where do you see that like going? Because I mean, we've talked about this in the past, and obviously seeing your content now, you even talk about it like the Japan trip. Right. You're like, this is so exciting that I'm documenting this. Like you can hear, like those are the words you're saying. Like that's what you're excited about. So is that like, where do you see the future of documentary style with your
documenting? Can be hard to visualize, right? Because the value of documentation doesn't come into play until years down the road, right? I feel like with documentation, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody else. Documentation is, I feel like, when you hit that nostalgia point, right? There's so many things that I look back on in life that I would just be like, man, I would just love to see a video of somebody just walking into Target in the year 2000 and just looking at those Pokemon cards. I don't care if they open them up. I don't care if they buy anything. I just want to see what the shelf looks like. I want to see what packs are available. I want to see what everybody walking around is wearing. I want to see the marketing on the wall. Like, I find that stuff just so fascinating. And if you just think back to just like, there's so much undocumented stuff out there. There's like literally footage of stuff, or there's literally events and things that there's no footage of, right? And we can't go back and get footage of that. It's something that just lingers in the mind of people or somebody that experienced it. And I just want to document just as much as I humanly can, whether it be a Black Friday in the year 2022, like I look back on like my early videos from 2016, 2017, 15 of just like going into a Walmart or a Target or a Toys R Us, right? Or a Kmart, right? And just seeing what everything looked like. I didn't think I was going to be nostalgia for XY in the year 2023. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card, but I'm nostalgic for XY now, like for Sun and Moon. You know what I mean? Like and Sun and Moon wasn't even that long ago, and I'm nostalgic for it now. And when I was documenting at the time, I didn't see the value of it, but now I see the value of it now, of that documenting. And I just love. It's one of my guilty pleasures of watching things on YouTube is like, I love people going to just like abandoned malls or dead malls or just looking at just things that are in some sort of decay to where there was just a lot of history there at one point. One of my big inspirations, I don't know if anybody's ever seen him, but Adam the Woo. He's like a daily vlogger. He has a channel called The Daily Woo, but Adam the Woo, and he just goes around and just documents stuff like small towns, back roads.
A lot of video or movie. He goes to like movie locations,
movie filming locations, all that stuff. And he was someone that I watched before I even made a YouTube channel, and he was an inspiration to me starting my YouTube channel. Is him going around and just documenting stuff.
Sorry,
did something weird.
Evie's doing her thing. Yeah, oh, she's looking too.
I know. Aww. She wants to be part of the podcast.
Don't look at
as well.
her.
But yes, no, I love his stuff. Inspiration to me, and someone that has nothing to do with Pokemon at all. Right. Yeah. And then weirdly enough, I ended up becoming friends with Adam.
Oh,
it's awesome. Great guy.
Are you in any of his videos?
Yeah, I am in one video from 2019. Yeah, 2019, his VidCon video.
Oh.
So if you go and look at, we hung out at VidCon for the day.
We went down a slide together.
And we took a race down a slide. Good times. And you just, you know what I mean? Like, I never would imagine like meeting somebody that I watched on YouTube, you know, like years later. It's wild where life takes you.
It really is. And Pokemon has done that for us. I've got the same experience. It's crazy who I've been able to meet. Like, it makes no sense. And it's just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I traded Mark Hoppus, you know, from Blink-182.
Oh. What?
Yeah, I traded with Mark Hoppus in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was the most wild thing. The most wild thing before the Blink-182 concert in Cleveland, Ohio. We traded Pokemon, and he needed a Relicanth, so I gave him a Relicanth, and in return, I asked him for a Hoppip, so I could rename it Mark Hoppip.
That's thinking.
Hoppus. Right? Oh,
that's thinking.
And Blink-182 is my favorite band, and so like,
oh my gosh,
how did we got done doing the trade? And I'm like, how did this happen? How did I get here to make this happen? Like I said, I literally don't know what I'm doing.
Where are you? I'm so sorry.
Right. Where are you? I got everything on the soundboard.
That's incredible. I really need to get one.
No, you really do. You really. Hey, do you need
just for my own pleasure?
Do you need to improve ratings on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. This one always helps, from what I've heard. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift always boosts those ratings, right?
Perfect.
Right. This is going to be your most viewed podcast right here, guaranteed.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Taylor Swift. Yeah, we went to a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh, that's right. You just went like a few days ago.
Not a few days ago, but I posted something about it a few days ago. But yeah, we went over the summer.
Mm-hmm. This was our year of concerts. Our summer of concerts.
We had 14th row to see Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Wow. I love Taylor Swift, so I've been listening to her since I started listening to her when she first started. So when she was in her country.
The sitting on the bleachers, white T-shirt. What was that song?
You Belong With Me.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something. I don't know. I don't think I was going to try to sing it, but I don't know if I know enough words to even sing it.
I wear T-shirts. She wears T-shirts.
Short skirts. I wear T-shirts.
That's it.
She's cheer captain.
I'm on the bleachers. That's it. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one I remember.
See.
And the ratings just went down.
Hey! Can't keep them up at all times here. Taylor Swift puts on a good concert, right? Like I respect Taylor Swift, and I'm not someone that like listens to Taylor Swift, 24/7 or anything. But man, puts on one heck of a concert.
It was really good.
That's awesome.
14th row is just once again. I was literally standing there. Taylor Swift's like right there. I'm like, how did I end up
No, what's even better is you got a picture with her mom.
I did. I met her mom.
How? Why does that happen?
Do you see, like, this is what
I'm wearing a Pikachu shirt.
He does this stuff on his own.
I go meet Taylor Swift's
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, she really did.
Hey, Maria, I'm backstage right now hanging out with Taylor.
I know. He's like, oh, hey, you want to see this picture I got with Taylor's mom? I'm like, you were gone for 15 minutes.
I literally went to go get a drink, and I come back, and I was like, hey, I met Taylor Swift's mom.
Wonder that. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Got a guitar pick from Taylor's dad, and
took a picture
with Swift.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't know how I ended up doing this stuff. It's just...
You just got to go everywhere with this guy.
Just do stuff. Just do stuff. You don't have to know what you're doing. You don't have to know what you're doing. Just do stuff.
Just do the thing.
Right.
See?
Just do the thing.
Just do the thing.
Look both ways when you cross the road. It's just simple stuff.
Don't run with scissors.
Yeah. Don't run with scissors. That's I think a Weird Al Yankovic album.
Is it? Probably
is it really?
Yeah, I think that's maybe one of his albums.
Probably is.
I still haven't watched that movie. I need to watch that.
I haven't seen it either.
With Daniel Radcliffe.
You know, I met him one. No, I didn't.
Well, let's talk about who you have met.
I did interview. What's his name?
Which one?
What's it? Lord of the Rings guy.
Sean Astin.
Him too, but the other Lord of the Rings guy.
Elijah Wood.
That's it. That's Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood.
Cool.
Yeah.
He tells me all the time. I know I'm a bigger Lord of the Rings fan than you are, which hugest insult to me because
she's got Lord of the Rings tattoos.
I have 2 Lord of the Rings tattoos, and he's telling me, well, I'm bigger fan than you because I've met them.
Oh.
Or I've interviewed them. So he's met Frodo and he's met Samwise and.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sean Astin's everywhere.
He's like such a turd.
Sean, you know what? I got video. Sean Astin gave me a nice kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. The video was for me. This is the thing I tell everybody. I'm like, so Nate interviewed Sean Astin and afterwards got a video with Sean saying hi to me. And I said, Nate, do you realize that the video he filmed for me was him gushing about how wonderful you were and then giving you a kiss on the cheek at the very end? Like, the video wasn't for me. It was totally for you.
I don't know how things happen. Like I said,
so funny.
I just go through life and have fun. And then you get a kiss from Sean Astin.
Why not?
Not bad.
I'll post the video sometime. I have it on video.
You should. You should. That would do well.
Oh, funny.
I'm not dragging this out, am I? Like, how long do your podcasts usually go?
Well, usually just about this time, actually. But but no,
I'll talk for like another 3 hours if you let me.
I'm here to chat as long as possible. I'm actually meeting with some ex-WotC employees a little bit after this, so which is pretty cool. I'm in Seattle now. Did you know that?
I didn't know that you were in Seattle.
I live technically Bellevue, but I work across the street from the Pokemon company.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you're ever out here for anything, for Pokemon Go Fests or anything Pokemon related,
it is on my bucket list to go to that area. It actually is. So
yeah.
It is always kind of like a where in the world is PokeRadar type of situation. Did I not text you and going, all right, what time zone are you in? Right?
Yes, that was one of the first things you asked. Yep. Well,
because I never know where you're at.
I never know where I'm at. This is hopefully a longer than 2-year stint. I don't think I've lived in the same place for more than a year in the last 4 years. So
really,
yeah, it's been a lot of moving.
Guy.
Do you get bored? I want to deep dive on you. Do you get bored and then you're like, I need change of scenery?
I get bored, but I'm also in the same boat as you where I just do the things and opportunities happen. So it's hard for me to just say no to something that is just put up in front of me. And
right. And you don't know what that's going to lead to, right?
Exactly. I just say yes to it. So it's, it's been, like quitting the job to do Pokemon full time. It's been, working at startups, like whatnot. It's been chasing a girl at one point, and then it's been now it's TikTok. So just these opportunities that are just happening, without me really asking for it, and they're just there. So cool. Because I mean, thankfully, because of I think the podcast and what I am doing, it's leading to all these opportunities. So this is one that I'm very excited about. I love this area. I love the mountains. I love the trees. So I can't wait to find some free time to go explore and adventure. But yeah.
So how long have you been up there then?
A month.
A month. Okay.
Yeah. It's very fresh. It's very new. But yeah, dude, it's
lots of rain.
Lots of rain. Yes, this is apparently the most the biggest rain time is like November, December, and then it snows a little bit, and then summer's beautiful. It's similar Michigan Midwest weather, except a little bit nicer, just slightly. Yeah.
Where's the in the U.S.? Where's your favorite place in the U.S.?
I think it had to be when I lived in San Jose, California, Northern California, because I could go to Yosemite, which is the most beautiful place in the world I've ever been. I could go to the beach. I could go to the city. I could get anywhere within like an hour of like what I wanted that day. So if I was feeling whatever emotion I was feeling that day, I could go do it. So San Jose, California was a pretty awesome place. Just incredibly expensive. Same here. It's incredibly expensive. I don't recommend anyone moving to these locations unless they have a nice, nice job. But it is absolutely beautiful here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Interesting. San Jose.
Yeah, and it was perfect.
I've never been.
Year round. Yeah, it's the Bay Area.
That should be. Well, do you know the way?
I do not know the way.
That's where like eBay is. That's where like Stanford's a beautiful campus to walk around if you go to that area. It's just, I don't know if you like going to campuses, like college campuses, but it's just like
I actually
loved it so much. I was like, I'm out.
I like walking around the college campuses. I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah, Stanford's a beautiful one, and then you're close to San Francisco. San Francisco's kind of a ghost town at the moment, apparently. So
really.
Oh.
Yeah, because after the pandemic, it got really, really bad. So it's
where
a little rough.
Full House is?
Yeah, the Full House.
It is. Yeah. The Full House is there.
It is.
That's so weird to say. The Full House?
The Full House is there.
He's got everything. Anywhere. I swear he does.
Gosh.
I've never been to San Francisco.
He's got Shrek. Oh, do not say that.
Often, man.
Hey Arnold.
Oh, I don't have a Hey Arnold. Yeah.
Ooh,
that one I don't have.
But he's got plenty of Beavis and Butthead.
The music riff in the beginning of Hey Arnold would be a good one.
That would. Yeah. That would. Yeah.
Yeah, or just a Hey Arnold. I get the Helga Pataki yelling.
I got
or dork. Oh, actually, a good one from Hey Arnold is the heavy breathing.
Yes,
hanging out behind Helga.
That would be a great one. I try to have like a nice little buffet of everything on here.
I mean, he's got Super Duper Danny.
Yeah, I got Danny on the podcast.
The funniest thing.
Yeah,
show me Danny's.
Let's see here. Here's Danny saying,
"Dude, heck yeah."
Oh, Hot Mess Express.
Hot Mess Express had taken off at the station.
Random
idea.
Are those sound bites from the podcast, or are you just watching her YouTube videos? And
that's actually from the podcast.
The funny thing is, like, Nate and Jordan can just simultaneously just be silent, and Danny just say the funniest thing. And then realize
that's a clip for the podcast.
No, I just made a mistake.
Yeah, that's a clip for the podcast. They're gonna hate that I played this one, but
I've never farted in my life.
Got it all. Got it. You know, I will go on to say that on a serious note, absolutely love Super Duper Danny. With all my heart. One of my dearest and bestest friend. And Jordan, don't get jealous here. You know I love you too.
He'll be jealous. Don't worry.
But because I love Jordan with all my heart too. And but Danny I've known for quite some time. And if there is one person in the realm of Pokemon content creators that I'm the closest with, feels like family. It's Danny and Jordan. But absolutely Danny.
Just Danny is incredible.
Wonderful human being.
Oh yeah.
I've had the pleasure of being friends with Danny for a while as well, and at one point we randomly went to when I was in LA for a short stint. We went and got sushi together and ended up just taking our cameras out and walking through Venice Beach, taking random pictures.
That's
which
awesome.
I still have yet to go back and find them, but I need to pull those out because we just took, they were the most random photos that we could take.
Awesome.
Sometimes those are the most memorable.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I hope I still have that card. I need to find it.
I would get on that. I just got back from LA on Thursday, and I was out there for a project that I can't talk about at the moment, but I was out there for something, and I decided not to tell Danny that I was going to be in LA.
Not okay.
And so
no, it gets better.
What I did is I kind of dropped a hint on the podcast. I was like, hey, Danny was talking about notebooks, and I was like, hey, can I have one of those? And they're like, yeah, you can have one. I was like, all right, I'll be there tomorrow to get it. And this is on Monday. I fly to LA on Tuesday for this project. And, I get off the plane and I'm sending Danny voice messages. I'm going like, hey, hope you were serious about that notebook. Just got off the plane. I'm gonna stop by and pick it up. And we do this thing all the time to where we just basically do our own like Saturday Night Live skits to where we just play into each other, right? Yeah. And so Danny's of course playing back, like, yeah, stop by, go ahead, I'm here on the couch, and so it gets to the point to where I'm like, all right, I should be there about 8:31 p.m. And then I get there and then I FaceTime Danny, but I do it to where like it's pointing straight up at the sky and like you can only see like a little bit of my face. And I'm like, hey, I'm outside of the gate. Can you let me in? And then Danny just starts laughing like, you're going this far to like go outside and like go this far with the bit. Right. And Danny's like, all right, I'll play along. I'll go to the gate. And Danny's like, all right, I don't see you at the gate. And then I walk around the corner and Danny's like, well, I can't say what Danny said, but
you can. It's far enough in the podcast.
But we got it all in video. I got Danny's reaction on video, yes. And I'm gonna play it on the podcast, but it's just stuff like that. Like just friendships and just and just making each other laugh and make each other smile. And I don't think I could see Danny every single day of my life and never get bored of seeing them at all.
Danny's a whole different energy.
Both of us, right? We both love Danny very, very much. And so it's someone that that I think I've built one of the closest bonds to over time is Danny. And we have a lot of moments that we recorded on video together, throughout the years. And we got so many just like crazy stories that we could tell. And I don't know. I love Danny very much.
That's awesome. Yeah. I have to have Danny on soon.
Absolutely. We should do a podcast like crossover.
I would love to.
Funny, yes.
That'd be great.
All three of us, Mr. Jordan French will come on, and then you can come on ours, and then we'll do like this whole crossover thing. I think it'd be a blast.
There's not enough of the cross promotion in Pokemon. I've complained about this for a while now.
What you look at like when it comes to content creators?
Yeah. Like you look at a lot of other industries, even the more traditional industries of like. I mean, look at Joe Rogan, the comedians and stuff. They all have their podcasts and they have each other on constantly and they're all promoting each other. And when it comes to Pokemon content, there's so little of it. I mean, you got PokeRadar and Cool Trainer Ryan who live close to each other. So they do stuff together every now and then. But like, there's not a lot of collaborative video making in the Pokemon space. I feel like maybe I'm not watching enough. Am I wrong?
Well, I feel like people are collaborating and, it's just always the collaboration might not always be promoted. I feel like because I've definitely had a lot of people just kind of like randomly appear in my videos, you know, and it's not like the thumbnail, it's not the title, it's just like they'll randomly be in there.
Gotcha.
And I feel like that's kind of more of the collaboration style now. Like early YouTube, I think that used to be a big thing, right? Like people were always like collaborating, like this person's in my thumbnail, I'm in their thumbnail, we upload the same day, we upload the same time type of thing. And I feel like it's hard to do collaborations now because I think we as viewers want to see the two people in person rather than on screens, right? Like, you know, back in the day, you used to do a pack battle. The person wouldn't even be in your video. You'd be like, all right, today I'm pack battling, you know, super duper Danny. And then Danny's not even in my video. And then I'm not even in Danny's video. It's just, it's just, you know, a battle, right? So to speak. And I think now as viewers, we probably want to see, you know, people actually in the videos, but that's not to say that we couldn't use some more collaborating. You know, and I've had Rev on the podcast. I've had Rev on the podcast before. I think he even had like 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
He was on the podcast, I think 3 times. 3 times.
Oh, really?
3 times before he even hit, I think 100,000.
Wow.
So, you know, so I'm always down to collaborate, and I don't think forcing collaborations is good.
No.
I think it just needs to be like a genuine thing, and that's kind of how we always done like our podcast is, you know, we have a guest on when we feel that it's the time's right to have a guest on, and not just have a guest on type of thing. Just how we do things. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
Right.
But
I highly recommend doing a podcast with friends. It's much easier not trying to find a new person every week. It is stressful. But thankfully I have a good Pokédex of friends that I can text and get on pretty easy. So we've had a lot of fun people on the podcast. You know, Lee's been on the podcast, Rev and Ando and you and Zoe and did I say Ando? Yeah. Oh, you did? That dude's so funny. Man, Ando's one I haven't had on yet. I haven't talked to Ando in a while. Goodness. I've seen him. Saw him at Card Party. Saw him at Worlds. But
when you get Nate and Ando together,
dude, I'm.
Ooh, maybe I should do that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling
maybe
you,
a little 3-person podcast of Ando and Nate.
You will not stop laughing. I don't think Ando will stop laughing either.
Me and Ando crack each other up nonstop.
Funny.
I had such a good time. You know, we spent pretty much all our time together at Card Party. Me, Danny, you know, obviously Marie and Ando, and then same when it came to Japan. And we're just laughing nonstop, and they're literally the dumbest stuff. And there was one moment that I just absolutely I wish it was on video so much, that we're, you know, it's the beginning of Card Party and the first day's over, and so we all decide to walk over to Disneyland and get churros at Disneyland. And so we're standing in the middle of Starbucks.
Yeah, because I wanted
eating our churros, and like literally me and Ando are just like, we're just facing each other, just like eating our churros like that. And why? I don't know. We're just like, we're soaking in each other's energy at that moment. And Ando, like the cinnamon and the sugar, it's going all over the ground. And Ando looks at the ground. He's like, I can't do a good Ando impression. He's like, you know, oh no, we're getting cinnamon and sugar all over the ground. And I just casually look up at him and I say, hey, don't worry about it. The mouse will get it. And it's a little bit of a thinker, right? Because we're in Disneyland, and
I got it.
Yeah.
It's like it takes a minute,
and it's like a 2-second silent pause from Ando, and he just starts cracking the hardest I've ever seen that dude laugh, to the point to where, and then I'm cracking up because he's laughing so hard, and we're now at the point to where we're eating churros and we're drooling because we're laughing so hard at this just like random slapstick type of joke.
I had to get napkins, and I had to take Nate's churro away from him because
I'm to the point, and when I start laughing really hard, I start snorting, and so I'm just like over there in the corner, just like. It's just, oh my gosh, it was the funniest thing. It just, I have so much footage of just like, you know, Danny and Ando, just like the three of us together, just so much footage that like the world has never seen, and it's just like the most random stuff that you would ever imagine.
It won't be funny to anybody else.
Right? No, it's so true.
I got.
You had to be there.
I got footage of Ando's first time through an American car wash, and that was an experience.
That was magical.
He was loving that. Like, it's just random footage like that. Like I film things just to have. When I mean I document things, I don't mean I just document things for YouTube videos. I just document them for my own purposes too.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when we go every couple weeks, we go to like a little town, and we go to check out the mall that's like closed. Like it's an old mall. It's a dead mall, pretty much. Yeah. But Nate came up with the idea that every time we go there, we're going to take a picture there. And so now we have months of every time we've gone to this mall, we find a new spot and we take a picture. And so now we can kind of flip through and be like, okay.
I just love documenting
it's
stuff.
So funny.
Whether
it be such a sweet thing.
Whether it be Ando's first car wash or a dead mall, I'm there.
We document it all.
The range of interest from you are
right.
Dude, I got so many external hard drives over here. It's a gold mine I'm sitting on. Just a literal gold mine of stuff. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we want to see that in 10 years. I don't know. That's my point.
And by that point, you'll just be able to upload that entire or those hard drives, and AI will create a beautiful documentary out of it or a slideshow. So
right. That's
there you go.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Not that I edit anymore, but I don't think my editor hopes at all. So yeah, I love my editor. He's a good dude.
I need an editor. I use AI, but it's still not good enough. So
I need
mine's
an editor.
So simple. I don't like editing. Mine's just the podcast. I don't have to do all the whooshes and.
See, that's what I want to learn. I wanted to learn how to do the whoosh and like the little sound drops, and I'm like, I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
you get music
very
every couple videos.
Shout out to John, my full-time editor, Trainer John. Trainer John. He's one of those people that I consider, even though he came on as my editor, my full-time editor, he's in my mind, he's my friend first, and then he's my editor. He's someone, I don't know how I lucked out, but he's someone that had been a fan of the channel for a long time, that does editing professionally. He was a Pokemon professor at one point. He's collected Pokemon his entire life, so he's in the world of it, and he's just such a good dude. I've had him here at my house, and so I literally would have not been able to keep up with the channel if it wasn't for John coming in and starting to edit all of the videos, because 2020 and 2021 was a wild 2 years for sure. And he came in February of 2020. February 2021 is when I got my full-time editor. So from 2014 to February 2021, I was with the exception of like 5 videos, I edited all my own videos.
Jeez.
And I was uploading 5 days a week.
Yep.
That's insane. That's true insanity.
Insane. He was.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It is. I'm very well aware of that. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, to have a full-time editor is just I mean, he takes the channel to the next level that I couldn't have done, right? Like I can picture the stuff in my head, but I don't know how to get it on that old computer thing.
Old computer thing.
You know, that old softwares and stuff. Yeah. I don't know how to make that happen, right? It's not my
floppy disks
and right. That's what I know.
And rotary phones. It's just
right. So many numbers.
So many numbers.
But yeah, I'm sorry if I'm keeping you.
No, you're good. I think this is a good time to wrap up. I do want to get some final words of wisdom and advice from you, but also want to hear from Marie what your next goals are. with the YouTube channel picking up. I also, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Mine?
Yeah.
Flareon.
Okay.
Yep. Always has been.
Just got to keep note of these things.
Yeah. No, I loved it since the beginning. Not Charizard as many times as Nate tries to say it.
Not this Pikachu with the hula.
I mean,
this is actually very fitting for Hawaii next year.
That is amazing.
I've never been to Hawaii.
Nope.
Neither have I. So,
oh, you really haven't?
Yeah, never.
I just went to New York for the first time this year.
I've never been there.
Yeah,
New York is interesting. I like going to shows now. I like going to shows. I appreciate Broadway.
See, I want to see something on Broadway.
Yeah, I saw Lion King not too long ago. It was fantastic.
I went out there for a Pokemon. Pokemon invited me out for a Pokemon sleep event.
Oh,
and so I went. That was my first time going to New York, and so I went out there for that. And then Steve from the It's Super Effective podcast. He also streams on Twitch, PKMN cast. But Steve and then Alcremie Sunday, which I adore both of them.
Yeah.
I love these names.
They took me out to see New York because I had never been to New York before, and they've been obviously plenty of times. And so yeah, they took me on a tour in New York. They're like, you got to ride the subway. It's like the New York thing to do. And so they took me on the
never done
subway.
that. I don't ever want to do that.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad I did. Okay. Now I know not to take the subway.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Yeah, it's just getting to experience things like that. It's just being with other people in the community. Steve is a podcast. Steve's podcast inspired me to do the Shadowless podcast. So he's my inspiration for a podcast. And I met him in like 2019 at GoFest, and I was fangirling.
I've got to meet Steve. I don't know Steve. I haven't listened to his podcast. There's a whole world of Pokemon podcasts I don't even know about, and I'm a Pokemon podcaster. That's not okay. I need to. You gotta talk to Steve.
Alcremie Sunday. Just I found out about Alcremie Sunday earlier this year, and just randomly sent her a message on Instagram. And I was just like, I absolutely adore your content. Like, it's just, I think it's so unique and it's so fun. And it's so like aesthetically pleasing. And then I got to meet her in New York for the first time. And I was like, I was fangirling really hard because I was meeting Alcremie Sunday. I get excited about other people. I get excited about other people's love for something. And so I get excited to be around them because it's like I feed off of that energy and that excitement that they have. So
I love hearing the stories. Like the story that you guys shared. I mean, how you've come to be where you are today. Like, that's the type of stuff that I love hearing and sharing with the world. So there's plenty of stories. I'll save some for the next time.
Oh yeah,
right. I know.
We got a ton. Do
I have record for longest podcast?
Record for the current. Actually, no. I think Cool Trainer Ryan. He goes on and on and on and on. That podcast actually did really well too. I think we did 2.5 hours.
I gotta go for another half hour. All right. Well,
unfortunately, I don't have the time, so I'm sorry. That's my fault.
You can leave. I'll keep going.
Leave all that on. We'll keep going.
But I actually, when I did the old podcast, I used to record so long, and I did like a 5-hour conversation with him. I had like 4-hour conversation, but I never released all of it because it was just so much.
Because you don't like editing.
And I don't like editing.
All right, we'll get to these final thoughts. All right, Ryan, you hold the trophy right now for longest episode, but when I come back in for part 2, I'm going for 3 hours.
We'll beat it.
I'm going for 3 hours.
We'll do you and Ando, and we'll go for.
Then you will hit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how
it'll be an all-day endeavor. We'll have to take out an entire block of topic. Arnar.
Sorry, I love you, Ando. I'm so sorry.
Should we call him right now?
Stop. Put that away.
What time is it in Australia?
Yeah, what time is it in Australia?
Why'd you look at me?
I don't know.
You're supposed to know everything,
smart.
Marie.
I guess.
I'm not smart. I don't know things.
It's 2:38 p.m., so he's awake.
Oh, he is awake. Okay.
Don't you dare.
You think he would answer?
Don't you dare. He's trying to leave. Let him go.
No, it's what we do need for the soundboard is Ando saying Ornar.
I can get that for sure. I can get that for sure. What's these final thoughts that we need here? Right. What's these final thoughts?
Well, Nate, what do you have for us? I wanna hear a little bit more words of wisdom from you, being
Mr. Rogers, what you got?
Mr. Rogers. You shared a lot of wisdom, a lot of positivity today. Do you have any final words?
Only $2.99 per minute too. I'll be PayPaling you after this. No, I do have a Mr. Rogers quote for you that whenever I do some sort of speaking or something, I always end on a Mr. Rogers quote. So I'll whip that out here in a few minutes. But as far as words of wisdom, it's some of it just may be repeating of what I said earlier. But at the end of the day, being yourself is one of the most important things, and it can be a lifetime of being yourself, of trying to figure out who you are and who your true self is. And everybody does that at different speeds. Everybody figures out who they are at different speeds. There's no right or wrong answer or time limit to that. Some people figure out who they are at 70 years old. Some figure out who they are at 20, right? And but I think if you can be your truest self at the end of the day, I think you can live one of the happiest lives. And living one of the happiest lives has nothing to do with wealth, or how many things you have, or how many Pokemon cards you have, cars, or whatever it may be. The happiness comes from truly being yourself at the end of the day, and that's a hard thing to do. It absolutely is. I feel like I'm still every day discovering who I am, but I feel like I just get a little bit closer every single day. And so I think just being true to yourself is the key to this world. And have fun. I mean, that's with
the people you love around you.
Yes.
You got to throw that in
there. No, have fun. Enjoy the presence of others. Make memories along the way. We all love shiny cardboard, right? You and I both.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the memories are what's going to stick with you longer than any of this stuff, right? Your memories are literally golden to you, because at the end of the day, something was to happen to you physically, right? Like maybe you're sitting in a hospital bed. You can't sit in a hospital bed with all this stuff. You can only sit in a hospital bed with the memories that you hold up here, and you get to relive them and think about the good times, and think about the bad times, and think about the tough times. And I think that's just having all of that is one of the coolest things. And then on the opposite side, one of the cruelest things is time. That's I always say, and I say it on the channel a lot, I think one of the greatest gifts and one of the greatest things that you can give somebody is your time. You're literally taking a moment out of your very small life that you get to have here on this world, and you're giving that to somebody else. And I think that's one of the best gifts that you can give somebody is your time.
It definitely is. I feel that today with you guys. I appreciate the both of you so much coming on, and love chatting with you. Love catching up. Having the opportunity to do this with you is fantastic.
Anytime. And I'll give you that Mr. Rogers quote here before. I always have it pulled up so I don't misquote it.
Oh, you actually do. Yeah, I did not think he was.
I don't want to misquote it. I want to be proper. Knowing that we can be loved exactly as we are gives us all the best opportunity for growing into the healthiest of people.
Beautiful.
Mr. Fred Rogers. My one big inspiration in life is Mr. Rogers, is someone that I look up to and have looked up to my entire life. And I think he's just a wonderful human being. He has so much knowledge. There's so many books you can go out there and get and just read about his life and read his quotes, and it just really makes you think. And so much so that I got all this Pokemon stuff right in the background, but I always keep Mr. Rogers. Let's see, right there, boom, there he is. We got the little Mr. Rogers Funko Pop. We got a little one that says quotes, and then there's 3 books right there of Mr. Rogers quotes, and I always keep Mr. Rogers in my background. because he's my inspiration.
I need to somewhere in my plethora of my mountain of cards, I have Mr. Rogers. I think technically his like rookie card. They did
I bought that. I bought that.
Yeah. It was like it was from like a hockey set or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay.
My goodness,
it was.
Those are so funny.
Yeah, I bought one of those as well. But great dude. Wish I got the honor of meeting him. But sometimes you don't get to meet your idols and your inspirations.
Sometimes you don't want to.
That's true. That too.
Sometimes you don't want to.
With him, probably I'm sure you'd be fine.
I'm sure he would have been amazing.
She was a great guy. And any final words over here from you?
Marie,
what we got? How do I top that?
That's tough to top. Good luck. That's tough to top.
Stop it. You won't let me. No, his stuff is always so just sweet and genuine.
It kind of putting you on the spot here.
No, well, look, we're gonna get the journaling going. We're gonna keep that ahead. We're gonna make the Basically Marie channel top Real Breaking 8 at some point.
That would be so fun. I would love that.
Hey, I'm all for it. I want to see her succeed in things that she truly wants to do as well. Because like I said, there is no Real Breaking 8 without Marie, because the channel would have never been able to take off. The channel would have never gotten started if it wasn't for her. So she's just as much a part of the channel as I am, and the channel is at a point that I'm truly happy with life. I'm truly I'm like I said, I'm not looking to be the biggest content creator. I'm not looking to be the biggest Pokemon content creator. I don't care about views. I'm truly happy with where I am in life, because I get people I get to share things with, like yourself and other Breaking family members that want to follow along on the journey. I get to be beside Marie. I get every single day. We got our dog Evie back here, and
so she's so cute.
I got a side up plush.
The side up plush.
Everything you need.
I had pie earlier. I just truly, I can honestly say this. I'm just happy. I'm happy with life, and I think for the first time in my life, I feel like I can truly say that. Wow. that I'm truly happy in life. Because there's just so much that life has given me that I'm not taking that for granted at all.
Yes. I mean, there's so many things that, I never thought I was going to do either. So it has been a pleasure to go along this journey, as crazy as it was to go on this journey with him, and just learn new things and be able to discover new things about myself and have the time and the opportunity to work on myself. So because of him, I've had the chance to do that, and I love it. And so I can't wait to see how far I can go with all of this, and maybe help others come to a point that maybe we are, and maybe they just need that little nudge just to get them the rest of the way.
I love your friendship, your partnership. Love your love. It's fantastic. I hope that
we've had our ups and downs, just like any other relationship, right? Like we're not perfect at all.
Yeah, and I don't want people to think that, it's all rainbows and butterflies all the time, but the biggest thing is you have to have communication.
That's what I say. That's something we've learned over the year. Communication is key. If something's bothering you, if you're feeling a certain way, if you can't talk to your partner, whoever that may be, then you got to reevaluate some things, because you should be able to talk to your partner and communicate about anything and everything. And that's what we have learned over the years, is to communicate. Yep. And that's what gets us through anything and everything. Communication. I'm one to
play favorites. I think that this has been my favorite podcast so far. So thank you both. This has been a great conversation.
I'm sure you say that about everybody, but thank you.
I don't.
I appreciate this.
I'm very open about my favoritism towards
thank you.
Towards
I
things.
appreciate that. That means a lot. And it's weird because you have a Pokemon podcast, and I think we just briefly touched on Pokemon.
This is about the people in Pokemon. So that's enough.
There you go.
That's enough.
No, but thank you for having us on. I really appreciate it. And like I said, this is coming at a good time. Coming up on 10 years on YouTube in February that I've been doing this, and I don't do a lot of podcasts. So when you asked me to do it, I was like, for John, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Because I don't sit down and do a whole lot of like interviews per se, right? It's just not something that I am just down to do anymore, but I'll do them for certain people.
This has been a lot of fun.
I'll do them for certain people.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you joined as well, Maria. This has been great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you inviting me.
You're the first person to ever invite her.
I haven't
onto
even
the
been
podcast.
on the Shadowless podcast. I mean, I've popped in to make a couple of comments here and there, but
I think this is what I mean. I want the people together in their best form, and obviously you guys together is the best form of both of you. So it went it went way better than I thought it would.
Awesome.
I'm glad that you guys decided to do this together in the same room instead of going into separate rooms.
Yeah. Right. No.
It would have been awkward. Very awkward.
Go to your side of the house and I'll stay on my side of the house. And
I need a moment.
No.
Turn my screen off.
I love our relationship, and I love all my friends, and I love just everybody out there, just everybody in the Pokemon community. It wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for every single person. And I think that's just not to go on like a side road here, but I think it's very important that everybody knows that in the Pokemon community, that every single person is just as important as the next person in this community, and it's not based off of your collection or events that you get to do or anything like that, because this community is not what it is without every single person making it what it is. So, one person is just as important as the next person. There's no one thing that makes somebody better. It's a collective thing as a community. So I think that's important to know. I think it's important, whether you've been in it for 20 years or one day, you're just as important. So.
Well, beautiful way to end it. Thank you again for coming on. I hope you guys have a great weekend. What's today? Today's Saturday.
Saturday.
Hope you have a great Sunday.
It is Saturday.
And
a great. Well, you're still pretty early for you on Saturday. So
I got a little bit of time tonight. But but yeah, thanks again, and hope to see you soon.
All right, we'll see you soon. All right, love you all. Positive vibes to y'all.
Bye.